Dave, to end out the show, I'm going to skip the next one. I was going to give some thoughts on Illinois at Baylor.
I want to hear this.
Do you?
This
okay.
is what I came. Yes, this is exactly.
Okay, then I won't.
I'll be honest. The second one, meh.
Okay, then we'll end on this one then.
It's early. I'm not worried.
Yeah, we'll end on this one. For me, I tweeted out like a perimeter thought, but like I've seen a lot of people upset that Illinois lost to Baylor and that we lost to Baylor 82-69. But like I'm sitting here and a day after I'm going, let's not panic. Like there is one thing I learned from yesterday's game, Dave. Baylor is going to be a scary tourney team because they play defense so goddamn well. Not even defense, team defense. To where it's like Coach Underwood after the game, they asked him about Io and they said, well, are you concerned? He only had 18 points. And he goes, no, Io better prepare for teams to play him like that. The only good thing is, he's like, the rest of our schedule doesn't see a team that can play defense like Baylor does. Like, it was a game, I watched the whole thing, and it was just like, both teams couldn't shoot well, which early on I was like, come on, like, someone make a shot, basically. Yeah. But, like, this was one where, like, I think this shows, with this Illini team, how we might have been, I don't want to say overhyping them, but we're expecting everything right up front. We're expecting them to be the Illini team of 04-05 or 03-04? No, 04-05, because that was our 8th grade into our freshman year. Like, we're expecting them to be that team that went undefeated, only lost 2 games all year, especially when it counted against UNC. I'm not still mad over that. No, I'm not crying. But it was a good defensive team. Baylor played well. I feel like this is going to be a game, though, that Illinois draws on, to where it's like late in the tourney, hey, remember when we played Baylor? Like, this is that same option, where it's like, I'd rather have lost this one today if it means I'm winning the last game of the season in the championship. Ayo's going to be fine. Don't need to panic about him. Kofi's going to be fine. This team will be fine. Because guess what? Duke can't play defense like Baylor did.
We will see. I tend to agree with that, at least as far as defense is not the same level as Baylor's.
Yeah.
Something at least to take away as a positive. Io, after the first half, shot much better.
Yeah.
The rest of the team continued to struggle. I think as a team, they were shooting like 36 and like 18 for their shooting split in the first half.
Yeah.
Like just absolutely abysmal. And yeah, Io was able to bounce back a little bit in the second half, but obviously can't carry a whole team on his back too. Miller looked god awful.
I mean, he's a freshman too. Like,
it's just like you said, it's one of those situations where it's like, hey, this was a true test. This was a wake up call, reality check for them early in the season. We'll see how they react, and we'll see how they push through the adversity.
And I'll be honest, like Baylor's defense was good, but there were a lot of the turnovers early in the first. It could have been nerves too, coming into your first big game as a freshman, but like there were numerous times Baylor would turn over the ball, or Baylor would force us to turn over the ball, and I'd be like, come on, you can't. There was one where I think it was Miller was coming up from the left side, top of the key, went to like push the pass out to the top, and someone jumped it, tipped it forward, and it became a fast break the other way. And I was just like, come on, you can't be giving the opponent free baskets. I guess another positive, it was a close game all the way through until the end. Like, that is something, it was like 1 point, 2 point, neither team could get a big advantage on the other. It wasn't like, oh, we were down 10 and had to come back. So, like, that's a positive too. It's just, don't expect this Illini team to win every game. They're not like the Flying Illini 2.0 that Dave and I got to see when we were in 8th and 9th grade, was we were youngins. And Dave, we were going to talk about Kentucky, but like your answer is you're not worried about them.
Not yet. Let it play. Young team, as always. So
first time, I will say, because I fact checked this, first time Kentucky has 2 losses in their first 3 games in the John Calipari era. The last time they did that was the year before John Calipari was their head coach.
One thing I do want to add on, though, is,
go ahead.
Man, they don't give a shit about masks. Like, Cal's mask was, like, here, and he's just screaming the whole time. And I'm like, that same thing happened in the NBA, you know? when you got a head coach who's yelling, like they want to be heard. That's the whole
Mhm.
point of yelling, and wearing a mask muffles that. So like, figure something out.
Well, that's like I heard this during the Illinois Ohio game where the announcers were talking about Brad Underwood because they were talking about his like mask usage because he either does one of two things. He either has the gaiter that's around the neck and goes up, and if he has to, he pulls it down and then pulls it back up. Or he has, like last night, he had the face shield. And they said with him, his thought when they talked to him pre-game was he likes the gaiter because it feels like it's more comfortable to wear it. You can pull it down, pull it back up. But he likes the face shield because he wants them to like see what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like see your mouth. And I can get why you may see that. Like Coach Drew, I think, is the coach of Baylor. He had kind of like, it was weird. He had a mask, but it was like, it looks see-through. So you can kind of see his mouth, or like you could see his skin and his mouth moving. So like that to me, I wondered about that mask because I'm like, can you make it like that and still have it be the point of a mask? Also because like Coach Drew got over COVID. So it's like, oh, if you had COVID, I don't know if you could still pass it on. I'm not a fucking doctor. But you want that mask to be real strong if you're someone who had it. But yeah, it's going to do it for us today. Great show, Dave, as always. We'll be back tomorrow for Football Friday, wrapping up the week, making some picks for this week, talking about some fantasy football, as it's been 2 weeks since we've been able to do a Football Friday. Don't forget, join the best community in the entire universe. That Discord channel is down below in the description, or !Discord into Twitch chat gets you that. If you want to support us, patreon.com/MVPvids. So you go ahead and do that. Again, link down below, or !Patreon into Twitch chat. Thank you to Pat Hill and Philly Sean, our Patreon sponsors. On Twitch every Monday through Friday, twitch.tv/MVPvids. And we're also on YouTube at MVP Sports. That's going to do it for Dave and I. Thank you guys for everything that you do. And as always, have a good day, everybody.